He said no to the Olympics, and he's still going head-to-head over a casino in Everett. It's been an eventful summer for Boston Mayor Marty Walsh. How do you think he's doing?
I think he's picked up for Menino without missing a beat. No, I'm happy with him.
I think he's doing what he needs to do for the people. The people didn't want the risk that their taxes would be raised to pay for the Olympics, and he has to abide by their wishes. It's not his decision, it's theirs. The same with the casino. I think he's just pulling in the opinion of the local people.
Charlestown residents deserve the right to have a say in what goes in their backyard.
I like that he's pretty visible. He's been out and about.
He's all for the Boston working man, so
Yeah.
I think Marty's a good guy.
What grade would you give Marty Walsh, especially with all these big events this summer? If you had to grade him right now,
Like a B+.
what grade would you give Walsh right about now this summer?
I give him an A-.
A-?
Yeah.
That's it.
That was in? Governor, Governor, listen to me. Mayor, that was in? That was a Freudian slip, by the way.
Right.
Today's OTR political analyst are Democrat Marianne Marsh. She is with us this morning, Republican voice Ginny Buckingham as well. Ladies, good morning. Great to see you.
So he's got a year and a half under his belt. He's made a few mistakes, but Bostonians still seem to like him a lot. Why, Marianne?
I think they like him personally. They like the fact that he's always fighting for them. I think they also see the fact that he's trying to do the right thing and bring Boston together. Yes, he's made his few mistakes, but they're giving him the benefit of the doubt every time.
Do you see this happening, continuing for a very long time forward?
Well, he's one of them, and I think that comes across. I think what he has to do now is determine who he wants to be in the future. You know, Mayor Menino was the urban mechanic. Mayor Flynn was the neighborhood mayor. Who is Mayor Walsh going to be?
Well, Ginny, let me ask you this. He's refusing to give up text messages with his chief of staff, Dan Coe, on the Olympics. Under the promise of transparency, when he started this whole thing, would that hurt him?
It could. It's little things like that that end up being bigger things if you let them. So if I were him, I would say fully transparent, here they are.
Marianne, does he have the law on his side?
Well, I think people understand that whether you're Tom Brady, Hillary Clinton, or Marty Walsh, who wants to turn over their phone or anything else to let everybody rifle through it? So I think people get that part.
You don't want to know about colors of pool covers and all that stuff?
For $8,200 a piece? No,
That's
I
right,
don't.
okay, I'm just
And that's
checking.
the best part,
Yeah.
right?
Let's move the conversation to the suburbs. Ernie Buck throwing a relatively low-price fundraiser, $100 a ticket for Donald Trump. Is there a better match made in political heaven?
I want to come on down.
Very good. Very good.
Check it out.
I think it will be a blast. Hilarious.
Marianne?
This is like a mashup between TMZ This Week and The Price is Right, right? I mean, just the two of them together and Donald Trump and everyone who's going to be there tells you everything about politics right now.
Will there be any oxygen left in the backyard?
Now, this room is not his house, Janet.
No,
right?
no, this is his guitar room, which is over one of his garages.
Just like yours.
Yeah, exactly. And he was, I'm telling you, an interesting character. I will tell you that.
Let's talk about Hillary Clinton. She released the details of a $350 billion plan to relieve middle-class students from tuition debt. She borrows heavily from numerous politicians, including Elizabeth Warren and her husband. Marianne, will this fly?
Absolutely. With college kids saddled with debt, either in college now or out, and the parents who financed them, absolutely. Because it's affecting their job choices, their ability to start families, get married, buy a home. And for their parents, they can't save for retirement. So this is something that affects everybody, the economy, and our future as well, the future of college kids and their parents. That means a lot.
No?
So it strikes me a little bit like the small ball the Clintons are known to play. And all these kids can go to college, but there's no jobs when they get out of college. And I think that's what Jeb Bush and the Republicans are going to talk about in this election, is raising the economy so there are jobs and growth for everyone.
If you're saddled with six-figure debts coming out, the only kind of job you can take are the ones on Wall Street that pay you enough to try to do that, and that's why so many kids aren't going into teaching and other jobs. That's the problem.
I don't think the voters are looking for another entitlement from Washington, another big solution from Washington. That's not why Donald Trump is so popular. It's not why Bernie Sanders is so popular. They're looking for a bigger aspiration, a bigger goal for our country.
What about the email and the server controversy that's going on right now? She's turned her server over. She has given over 10,000 emails, my understanding. Does this particular controversy have any legs? Do you see this projecting into next year, election year?
I do, and I kind of don't get it, because the first rule of politics, if someone's going to go after you, is be completely open. Say, here's everything, I did nothing wrong, there's nothing here, this is all trumped up. Instead, they're letting it drip, 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 so it looks like there's something there, and that's a problem.
Does this controversy have any legs, Marianne?
I think in the end, it looks like the Republicans overreached, as they always do, and it backlashes on them. The fact is, everything Hillary Clinton turned over, none of it was classified when she released it. it, period, end of sentence. And she submitted an affidavit saying that under the pains of perjury. What more do you need to know?
But don't you see the Republicans pushing on this?
Too much, too much, too much.
Through
Overreaching again, and it comes back to blow back on them.
The polls, though, show that people don't trust her, and it's because of things like that, and you don't want to reinforce that lack of trust.
Let's do a quick yes, no on this, and I apologize because I understand the topic's a little more complicated than that. But Jeb Bush this week tried to switch the conversation by blaming Clinton for the rise of ISIS in Iraq, saying as Secretary of State she failed to keep the peace. Marianne, can the argument stick on the campaign trail?
Yeah, to Jeb Bush, because he's just like his brother. When you have a choice between war and peace, he picks war every time. And if you're going to do that, buddy, reintroduce the draft.
Ginny?
Yes, I think it will stick because I think it's a legitimate point to raise.
We continue on the record. Stay with us.